Before we get into today's video, I want to briefly thank you guys for all your kind words and support yesterday on my stepdad's GoFundMe. I'll have a link to it in the description box down below. The whole point of it is just to make it so that he doesn't have to worry about kind of outside things. He could just focus on his recovery and his rehab. He still can't walk on his own. He's still in a rehab facility. His left arm still doesn't work, so he still has, a very long way to go. And this was kind of just a way for his friends to get together and, try and help him out. And I wanted to share it with you guys. So whether you checked out the GoFundMe, sent well wishes, shared the GoFundMe, or even were kind enough to donate, which I understand is a huge ask in this economy, I sincerely thank you guys. He means the world to me. He's been around since I was 3 years old. So he's a very important part of my life, and I'm not here without him and, all the things he's taught me throughout life. So thank you guys. Like I said, I'll have a link to it in the description box down below should you want to check it out. But folks, we have to talk about some video game news. I got 3 stories I want to cover today. So if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would sincerely appreciate it. But the first thing we're going to talk about is a topic I haven't really touched on in quite a long time because I had kind of given up on this whole sector of gaming, and that is the home arcade sector of gaming. I used to be a big fan of Arcade 1UP. I used to think they did awesome stuff, but of course as time has gone on, it just seems like they're just retreading the old sort of stuff over and over again. They're getting into everything except for home arcade machines. Their Instagram is very suspect to say the least. I've never seen so many random Twitter or Instagram accounts that have like one follower, that are locked accounts, that are commenting on every post that Arcade 1UP makes with like fire emojis and heart emojis. So I'd pretty much written off home arcades. I figured, the games that we got are the games that we got, and there's never going to be anything that really piques my interest. But boy, oh boy, was I wrong. I don't know who Basic Fun ! Is, but whoever this company is a godsend in the home arcade community, because this was revealed yesterday. WWE WrestleFest, which is technically WWF WrestleFest. And I know what you're saying to yourself, RGT, years ago, you made a home arcade of this. And you are 100% correct. I did make a custom WrestleFest cabinet because I never thought this would be a reality. But this year, this fall, this is scheduled to come out. Now, you could see here, these 2 individuals are having a lot of fun. And they should be having fun because WrestleFest is arguably the greatest wrestling arcade game of all time. Now, one of the questions, of course, is, licensing. You can see here it has the Legend WWE logo instead of the WWF logo. I'm sure companies will make something to, put over that so we don't have to see that crusty logo. But it seems like the whole roster is intact here. You can see the Legion of Doom, which is kind of a questionable thing because they are not under a Legends deal as of right now. And what I learned from you guys, actually, was that, these are not considered video games. These are actually considered toys. So the licensing stuff is sort of different. That's why we have like Turtles in Time and stuff that came out with the Arcade 1UP brand, because it's licensed as a toy and not a game. But you can also see Demolition on here as well. So I don't know like 100%, but it seems like the whole roster is indeed intact. And my God in heaven, like how did you do this? How did you do this? Some of them are going to feature single iconic games. Others are going to have curated collections. I don't care. Like, it'd be cool if Superstars was on here, because Superstars is pretty fun, but you have the Macho Man and Honky Tonk Man, who might be a little bit difficult. But this absolutely blew me away. I could not believe this when I saw it yesterday. And I know a lot of people aren't wrestling fans, but if you are a wrestling fan, especially like an old one like me, like, bro, this is absolutely mind-blowing. We don't know a price point or any sort of online features or anything like that, but I have my eye on this 100%. This is something that I believe might get me back into the home arcade sphere because I just love this game. I remember going to Milford Amusement Center with my aforementioned stepdad and playing this game with him and playing X-Men. They had the 4-player X-Men cabinet there and stuff. Just so many fond memories. So yes, WrestleFest is coming and I'm excited. What do you think though? Let me know in the comments down below. The next thing I want to talk about is something that I haven't really talked about on the channel, but when it comes to Mario Kart World and the open missions, I haven't really been super interested in what they have shown so far. Like, it just seemed like, oh, you're just gonna collect coins, or I know there was one that was kind of like a Super Monkey Ball-esque sort of level in which you're avoiding balls that are rolling down against you to get to like the top of a mountain point. Like, it looked fine, but I kind of wanted a little bit more variety and just kind of something different than what the main game offers in terms of the open world stuff. Now, we don't know if there's going to be any sort of boss battles or any sort of fun stuff like that, but yesterday Nintendo actually shown on their app, which you're no longer allowed to like record on your phone, but people find a way to do it because, I mean, it's the internet, it's 2025, get with the times, Nintendo. But they showed off this Mario Kart World mission, and this actually looks like a lot of fun. So I wanted to show this with you guys because, you know, you might have missed it, but I'm definitely getting a lot of wave race vibes from this, and like, this to me is cool. I know at its core it's still kind of the basic thing, you know, get to the end of this area and whatnot, you know, no big deal. But I think it's the fact that, you know, we're off course, we're going through the water, and like the water is actually, you know, reacting to the hovercraft vehicle. Like, look at this wave right here. Like, that is super wave racy, dude. Like, I think this actually looks like a lot of fun. And I get it, you know, it's nothing super crazy, it's nothing super unique, but I do like this. I think this is the kind of stuff that I want to see more of within the mission structure of Mario Kart World, you know, and I think that's something that they can really explore and really, you know, potentially get some unique things out of this open world segment, because it's obviously not going to be like a traditional open world. It's going to be more so based on these little missions that are sprinkled around within there. So I thought that looked really good. I wanted to share it with you guys because I thought it looked really good, and it actually kind of increased my hype a little bit for Mario Kart World. Did it do the same for you? I like water physics, man. I like water physics. I've always thought they were just amazing. You know, like Wave Race 64, like the water physics in that were so cool. It just seems like something different that a lot of companies don't focus on. So, yeah, it made me excited. Whatever. And the final thing we have to talk about, which of course is the headline topic. The Nintendo Switch 2 comes out this week. Many people, of course, have pre-orders in for them. My pre-order situation didn't go very well, but I believe I have all of my bases covered here. I might actually be attending a midnight launch with a friend of the channel, Rax, in order to pick one up at midnight. We'll see kind of how that plays out with my timetable. But if you've already pre-ordered a Nintendo Switch 2, you're probably sitting back and relaxing, being very comfortable, especially if you pre-ordered one from Walmart. Walmart was, of course, the retailer that guaranteed delivery before 9 a.m. on the launch day of the Nintendo Switch 2. I, of course, tried to get a Switch 2 from Walmart. I completely struck out, but I mean, I tried. I gave it an honest effort, but it seems like maybe it was a blessing in disguise that I did not get a pre-order from Walmart, because yesterday a lot of people woke up to a message from Walmart basically saying that their pre-order had been canceled. Now, this is kind of an ongoing situation, so there hasn't really been any sort of conclusion to it, but basically what was happening was people were getting emails from Walmart saying that their payment method had failed, even though it was the payment method that you know, when you put in your payment method onto Walmart's website, like it's the same for everything. So unless something has changed within the past, you know, month or two, that should be fine. But people were getting emails from Walmart saying that the payment method had failed and that their Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order had been canceled. Now, in case you think, oh, this is just a misinformation I know there's a lot of people harping on that sort of stuff. This is a misinformation campaign on the Switch 2, blah, blah, blah. I actually know someone personally who got the email, and that person is Brett, the sometimes editor of this channel and my co-host on Analog Allies. Brett received an email that there was a payment error method, that the payment method had changed, and that his Switch 2 order had been canceled as far as his pre-order was concerned. And if you go ahead and look online and kind of Google Walmart Nintendo Switch 2 pre-order canceled, you will start to see a lot of people who are having this sort of situation. Now, more than likely, this was just a case of Walmart potentially overselling the amount that they had for Switch 2 pre-orders, whatever that allotted amount was for the online portion of things. Maybe they hit it, and then, you know, they just kind of oversold. Now, we did see instances where Walmart would randomly have more pre-orders available because of things like cancellations, but it doesn't seem like any of those were necessarily guaranteed or anything like that. If people who managed, because Brett managed to get his, like, that night, the night that Switch 2 pre-orders went live, he got one. So he was in that initial first batch, and now his pre-order has been canceled. And stuff like this is just, you know, if you're an adult, it's one thing. But, like, say you're buying it for, like, your kid or something like that. Like, you know, oh, it's summertime. You had a great school year, son or daughter. You know, oh, I'm gonna get you a Switch 2 that you can enjoy this summer and play the new Mario Kart game. And then you got to be like, sorry, Johnny, Walmart canceled my pre-order. And then you got to, like, wait out in line and stuff like that. I don't know. You know, it just seems like this is self-contained to just Walmart right now. But the fact that this is happening literally mere days before the Switch 2 comes out, like, it's definitely got to be very heartbreaking. And it's definitely got to be something very frustrating, especially, you know, if you are, you know, really wanting one of these or buying one for a kid. So have you had any of your pre-orders canceled? I do know that Game UK had a similar situation where they were canceling pre-orders as well. That's just got to be such a frustrating thing, man, because you think you're locked in, but then you're not. Let me know in the comment section down below, though, whether or not you had any issues with your pre-order and whether or not your pre-order is still indeed confirmed. Alrighty, so that is going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think of everything in the comments section down below. Are you excited for WrestleFest potentially coming home finally, as it should be, because it's one of the best arcade games of all time? What do you think about the Mario Kart Wave Race vibes? And did your Switch 2 pre-order have any sort of problems? Let me know all that in the comments. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.